Now, defiant Mugabe, though, appeared in public today for the first time since the military takeover earlier this week. But pressure from within and outside of the ruling ZANU-PF is mounting on the 93-year-old leader to quit. His party says that Mugabe could face impeachment as soon as next Tuesday if he fails to step down. Mugabe presided over a graduation ceremony at the Zimbabwe Open University in Harare this morning. His wife Grace and Education Minister Jonathan Moyo were not present. Jonathan Moyo, of course, is the Minister of Higher Education. Now, Mugabe has led Zimbabwe's liberation struggle and has dominated its politics since independence in 1980. The power struggle to succeed him came to a head when he fired Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa last week. On Tuesday, military vehicles rolled onto the capital, placing Mugabe under house arrest. Mugabe and the army chiefs held talks yesterday. No statement was issued on the status of negotiations that could see him eased out of power. Government television showed the world's oldest head of state alongside Army Chief General Constantino Chiwenga, who referred to Mugabe as the commander-in-chief. Grace Mugabe has not been seen since the military takeover. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe's war veterans have called for a rally in support of the military takeover to be held tomorrow. For more on the situation, we're now joined on the line by our correspondent in Harare, Ephert Musekiwa. Ephert, thanks very much for joining us. I know it's been a busy week for you trying to figure out exactly what's going on, but we're seeing on social media that there are marches planned for this weekend, and that's apart from the war veterans. Start with the war veterans, though.
Good evening, Peter. Indeed, it's been a busy week. Today, events are pretty much surprising. We saw President Mugabe in public going about his normal duties. The war veterans, led by Chris Muchangwa, also made a press statement today. Chris Muchangwa is back in the country, and he addressed a press conference where he called on President Mugabe to step down because he says the end has come for him. If the military won't force him down, then the people of Zimbabwe are going to do it. Just before I came on air, I got some updates of what's happening in the provinces. The ZANU-PF provincial coordinating committees held their meetings today, and surprisingly, some provinces, I'm told, have passed votes of no confidence against President Robert Mugabe. You will recall that these are the very same structures of ZANU-PF that actually had endorsed him to be the candidate for next year. So they've now reconvened, and I'm told some of them, like Mashingo, have actually passed votes of no confidence against President Robert Mugabe and his wife, Grace Mugabe. Peter.
So what do you think has caused this change of heart? Because, you know, we saw the Youth League leader suddenly apologize the next day from the strong stance that he had taken. Is it a sense that they know that the game has changed and they need to go with that side that seems to be having the upper hand?
Clearly, Peter, I think it seems that way, that they see the tide going against President Robert Mugabe, and they've slowly begun to, you know, ride on the same path that the military has taken. You also, early in the morning, the military held a graduation ceremony where the presiding officer actually said that the defense forces will protect the country at any cost. So such messages being portrayed, such messages being relayed to the nation of Zimbabwe really send a strong signal that they are prepared to really do anything, or they are prepared to go an extra mile to make sure that whatever it is that they want to see achieved is achieved at the end of the day.
But still no closer to finding out if any agreement has been reached or even close to getting to one. You know, we're getting different reports that there's a defiant Mugabe, but I wonder if it's as simple as that.
I don't think it's that simple, Peter. The war veterans that we spoke about earlier on said that it doesn't matter if Mugabe agrees to any conditions. What they now want is that they want him out, and that's their only condition. So there is no more agreements to be reached after that. So do you understand that they are actually tomorrow there is a convening of the War Veterans Association, and they say that in that tomorrow meeting they are going to make that declaration that President Mugabe leaves power within a short space as little as 24 hours. So tomorrow's events are also going to be interesting. There's going to be a War Veterans Indaba. There is also going to be marches that have been planned. But we still wait to see if the military will allow all these activities to happen. But as I speak now, none of them has been barred from taking place.
All right, that's where we'll leave it. Ephert Musekiwa, our correspondent in Harare, they're giving us an update. So tomorrow will be a significant day if these marches take place and declaration by the war veterans saying that the president must go, and they've given him a deadline of early next week.